Good evening, gentlemen.
Good evening, 4D. Good evening, Viv.
Good evening, 4D. Good evening, Bronze.
It is Thursday, the 4th of June, 2026. Storm in the Teacup, episode 67. A few interesting little things about 67. 67, the main thing, annoyingly, when I tried to find out something about 67, the main thing which came up on the internet, I don't know if you guys have heard about it. It's this thing, that the kids are doing now.
I've heard of it, but I don't understand what that.
No, this is it. It's just called 6-7, and and all they do is say 6-7, and it doesn't mean anything. It serves no purpose. It's just a thing that they do.
Is it so? Like, is it meant to be irrelevant? Is it like my generation had the joke, how do you confuse an idiot? And the answer was 7 because it confuses you. Is it that sort of thing?
I think it's nonsensical. It doesn't mean anything. I think it deliberately doesn't mean anything. I think that's the whole point. It doesn't mean anything, but it spawned this whole kind of trend, and there's memes about it, and nobody knows where it started. Nobody knows why they do it or anything. So it's kind of just really annoying. That's all it is. It's this annoying thing that kids do. So everything was about that on 67. But where are we? I did find a few little things about it. Oh yes, well, the element in the periodic table with the atomic number 67 is holmium.
Say again, sorry.
Holmium, HOLMIUM. Another one that we've never heard of.
No.
As the symbol HO, ho. So
right.
So there's that. There was some other things in 1967. There's some quite a few. I don't know if I'm treading on your toes on this day in history, 4D, with this one.
Go on.
Well, actually, oh yeah, as we mentioned, the UK state pension age is 67, as we mentioned previously. Cuba's communist government has lasted 67 years.
Interesting.
Yeah, and also anyone who remembers the kids program, the UK kids program Blue Peter. It ended doing live episodes after 67 years.
67 years that went on for.
Yeah. Well, it started off in black and white, Blue Peter. Yeah. And 1967 was quite an eventful year as well. Obviously, the Summer of Love, centered around San Francisco, or as we like to say in English, St. Francis. What else we got? The first ever Super Bowl was played, American football. That Super Bowl #1 was played in 1967. Astronauts Gus Grissom, Edward Higgins White, and Edward White, and Roger Chaffee died in the Apollo 1 accident when the space capsule caught fire on the launch pad. The Soviet space program Soyuz 1 launched, carrying cosmonaut Vladimir Komarov, and the next day, the very same cosmonaut, Colonel Vladimir Komarov, dies as his parachute fails to open, making him the first ever human to die during a space mission.
Whoa!
Oh, right.
Yeah, 5th of June, actually tomorrow, the anniversary is tomorrow, 5th of June, the 6-day war begins between Israel and Egypt.
Oh, yes.
Which lasts, strangely enough, 6 days. And also in September in Sweden, right, overnight, traffic changes from driving on the left to driving on the right. Those Swedes, they're a bit mental.
Oh, that must have caused some confusion.
Yeah. And a day after being captured in 9th of October, Marxist revolutionary Ernesto Che Guevara is executed for attempting to incite a revolution in Bolivia. What a loser.
Yep.
So, over to you, 4D.
1960, so 67 was quite a busy year.
It was, yeah.
Well, okie dokie. So, yeah, this day in history, starting with 1647, English Parliamentary Army under Cornet George Joyce takes King Charles I as a prisoner during the Second Civil War.
Yes.
Okay, Second Civil War.
I thought
that's
that.
right.
Yeah.
There were several civil wars. Yeah, all kind of conjoined, really.
I was going to say,
right.
I always thought it was just one massive civil war, but there was clearly separate sort of scuffles that.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. There were. Yeah, it was a conjoined sort of number of uprising skirmishes by royalists and Republicans. Yeah,
it is generally referred to as the English Civil War, isn't it? It's not.
It is. Yeah.
Okay, so what was that? So we had 1947, and then for the numbers people, 1666 was the Battle of Dunkirk. That was the English versus the Dutch fleet.
Yeah.
And then I'm only adding this because I think this is hilarious, but 1850, self-deodorizing fertilizer is patented in England. Self-deodorizing fertilizer. I still don't know what that is, really. I can't be bothered to look it up, but whatever. Yeah.
No. I don't know what that is either.
It sounds like a complete waste of time. A pointless exercise, but
yeah. A lot of things we do are like that, unfortunately. Yeah.
Okay.
1878, Cyprus ceded by Turkey to Britain for administrative purposes. So it was 1878 that we gained possession of Cyprus.
Yeah.
Okay. Then we lost it in World War II. Did we get it back after World War II? Oh, no, sorry. I'm thinking of Crete, not Cyprus. Oh, sorry.
Oh, good, because I was sat here going, I don't know how to answer this because I don't think that's right. Cool.
Yeah. So my mistake. Carry
on. Cyprus. And then, it's a... This weekend is actually Derby weekend, and this particular day today in history, in 1913, English suffragette Emily Davison is trampled and mortally wounded by a racehorse called Anmure, is it? Anmure, yeah. Ridden by Herbert Jones and owned by King George V during running of the Derby at Epsom Downs in Surrey. Jones thrown from horse. Horse finishes the race jockeyless, and Davison dies from her injuries 4 days later.
Yeah, it was very famous. Yeah.
The
King's Horse, the Epsom Derby. I think that's how we pronounce it in this country. 4D. Thank you very much.
Oh, did I say Derby? I always do that. It's because of TV. It's American TV that's done that to me.
Yeah.
But that's a very famous event. Very well known.
Yeah, so, it's always surprising when we're actually on the day in history. I love it. But very big day. Yeah. And equally, in fact, I think my last ones are as well. So this day in 1940, this one. I've got a funny feeling my grandfather was involved in this. I got no proof, and he's passed now. But anyway, not this day in 1940, British complete the miracle of Dunkirk by evacuating 338,226 Allied troops from France via a flotilla of over 800 vessels, including the Royal Navy destroyers, merchant marine boats, fishing boats, pleasure craft, and even lifeboats. Again, most of our generation will know of that miracle of Dunkirk.
Our generation,
of
yeah,
course.
perhaps not so many of the younger generation these days.
No.
But that is, yeah. But I mean, it was amazing. It was amazing that we managed to get all those people back, all those soldiers back. But it is a classic case. I mean, this is what the British do, right, all the time, is turn make a defeat into a, where we spin it as a glorious victory, which we
Yeah. Oh,
absolutely
yeah.
did. We absolutely did that with Dunkirk.
Totally.
We got kicked off the mainland of Europe by Hitler, but we spun it into this glorious thing that we can all be proud of. I mean, it was an amazing feat. It was well done. It was good, but it's typically British, like the Charge of the Light.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
But yeah, and I was going to add on. Have you got any more 4D?
I have, yeah. So
okay, I'll wait till the end.
Because so the same year, same day as that last one is possibly one of the top famous quotes in English history, but it's the "We shall fight them on the seas and oceans." 1940, British Prime Minister Winston Churchill delivers his famous "We shall fight them on the seas and oceans" speech to the UK House of Commons. The actual speech that he gave in Commons was actually quite a long speech, but just the last bit of the speech that involves that we shall we shall fight them went a bit like this. Even though large tracts of Europe and many old and famous states have fallen or may fall into the grip of the Gestapo and all the odious apparatus of Nazi rule, we shall not flag or fail. We shall go on to the end. We shall fight in France. We shall fight on the seas and oceans. We shall fight in the growing confidence and growing strength with our air. In our air, we shall defend our islands, whatever the cost may be. We shall fight on the beaches. We shall fight on the landing grounds. We shall fight in the fields and in the streets. We shall fight in the hills. We shall never surrender. And even if, which I do not for a moment believe, this island or a large part of it were subjugated and starving, then our empire beyond the seas, armed and guarded by the British fleet, would carry on the struggle until, in God's good time, the new world, with all its power and might, steps forth to the rescue and liberation of the old.
Very good.
Still a great, what we've, and the only reason I wanted to say that little bit there is it reminds me of a time when we were a strong country. There's such strong words, a great speech, and that's why it's gone down in history. And I think I think the changes today, we're nothing like that now, unfortunately.
Well, I was just thinking, yeah, I mean, it was a great speech. I mean, as Churchill was known for, and you would never get a politician making a speech like that these days. That quality and that depth. But also, was there not something along the lines of should this empire last for another 1,000 years, they will say that this is our finest hour, or something along those? Didn't he put in the finest hour? Wasn't that part of that speech?
All I read was the last paragraph. The last paragraph that had the whole. I believe. Right. What is it? There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 3 paragraphs before that. So yes, it probably was in there.
Right. I mean, this is just complete. It's just very, very sad. It just makes me feel sad that it's from a time and a country and a people that don't exist anymore. A mindset, a mentality, a culture, which has sadly just been, tossed away, thrown away, and relinquished.
And even that line that should we all fall and die and perish, that he still had this idea that it doesn't matter. Our fleets around the world and the Royal Navy out there, we'll still save the day. It's very beautiful. Yeah.
And we're only now what? So it's 26. So we're only 14 years away from that speech being 100 years old.
Wow.
So
When
it's
you put it like that, that's crazy.
almost a century ago that you know, and I suppose you know a lot can happen in 100 years, and a hell of a lot has happened. Um, so
Oh, how the mighty fall, as they say.
yeah. It's but
Very
I
quickly,
wasn't.
the very last one. Oh, sorry, go on, go on.
No, go on. You finish. You finish.
It was very last one. I'm not old enough to remember this one, but I have semi heard of it. Anyway, 1967 was the Stockport air disaster. British Midland flight GALHG crashes in Stockport, killing 72 passengers and its crew.
Wow, 72.
Wow.
I'm guessing you guys remember that one.
No, I don't remember that.
Oh, okay.
There was
Okay.
I don't think so, but I might do. I'm quite interested in air crashes. There was some serious ones in the 70s, and that led to safety improvements, etc. So,
do you Viv, remember in 1967? This is another little snippet which I came across, but as soon as we're talking about crashes, do you remember a train crash at Hither Green train crash?
Oh yes, I do.
Okay, because a little kind of interesting thing about that was quite a few people died in that one, I believe, but there was one person who did survive, and it just so happened to be Robin Gibb of the Bee Gees.
Oh,
wow!
Well, that's a bit like that tennis player Andy Murray being a kid in the Dunblane massacre.
Was he really?
Mm.
Oh, I didn't know about that.
Sorry,
Andy Murray, the Scottish tennis.
Oh, right, yeah.
All right, wow, okay. Dunblane, that was what gave them license to take all our guns away, wasn't it? Was it Dunblane?
Yes, it was.
Scotland. Yeah. That was it. Mm-hmm.
Oh, is that what came out of that one? Was it?
Yeah,
basically,
1996. Yeah,
96.
Yeah, 96. Right. So yeah, 30 years ago.
Yeah, they Andy Murray and his brother they took shelter. They hid whilst the massacre was ongoing.
I just did want to add on. It's not really this day in history, but it's close enough to warrant a mention. You mentioned 4th of June, Dunkirk. Another famous World War II June date is the 6th of June, which will be coming up in a couple of days. Which of course is the anniversary of the D-Day landings in Normandy.
Yep.
Mentioned well.
Yeah, there's some good films about the D-Day landings.
Yeah, I was just watching The Longest Day a couple of days ago, actually.
Yeah.
That's a start. The cast list in that is immense. The names in it, and very long film, and in black and white as well, which was quite unusual.
Yeah. Well, it lends a somber aspect. I think when it's monochrome.
Sean Connery's in that. He's a very young Connery. John Wayne, of course.
Of course.
So many. Robert Mitchum. Oh God, I can't remember all of them. There's so many stars in that film. It's incredible.
I was lucky enough to be involved in the French D-Day land. It's 50th year anniversary stuff over there, and it was a great humbling experience. Everywhere British soldiers went, we've got free food, free drink, and it was and talking to the old fellas and that. It was a really most excellent time that I spent down in. I think I'm right in saying I was on. It was either Sword Beach or Juno. I can't remember now, but
so that was what 1994. Is that would have been
1994? It would have been. Yeah. I was still in basic training. Yeah.
I would love to do that. I'd love to pop across the channel and go and visit. Go and see the beaches just have a look, and see where it all happened. I find that interesting.
It's a morbidly, it's quite humbling. You look across those beaches and you sort of remember what sort of went on there, and it sort of takes your breath away.
Yeah, and go and see the cemeteries, the all the war cemeteries and the memorials. I'd actually like to go to Bastogne in Belgium as well. That wasn't a D-Day thing. That was a Battle of the Bulge, but I'd like to go there as well. It requires, it's not a day trip to do that sort of thing.
No. So big, the graveyards, and almost so perfectly lined, and you sort of any position you're at in the graveyard, they all the crosses seem to line up in some sort of uniform way, which is very peaceful to the mind, I think. But again, to anyone if you ever get the opportunity to go out to any of those beaches, the graveyards, amazing.
Yeah. Wow. No, I think my favourite. There's Saving Private Ryan, which is a pretty amazing opening sequence, but descends into a bit of schmaltz, really, to be honest.
It's typical Spielberg at the end, or Spielberg, maybe that's correct.
It is.
He does revert to type later on in the film, but the intro is fantastic. That first 15 minutes is amazing. Yeah,
unbelievable. My favourite is a film called Overlord from the mid-70s. It's my absolute favourite.
I'm not sure I've seen that. Who's in it?
No one you'd ever know. It was deliberately cast with unknowns.
Oh, I'll have to dig that one out. I do like a good war film.
Yeah, it just follows this young man who gets called up and trained, and then it shows his progress, and it's pretty somber. It's very, very British, very British,
as it should be.
Well, if we're going to go down that route, I'd say the greatest film of all time is The Great Escape. That for Englishness.
Oh really?
Yeah.
No way.
Yeah. Why? What would you take? What would you put up there?
What as the best war film, the greatest war film? Well, I couldn't really pick one. I mean, we're obviously going to have
going from an English or from a British point of view, I suppose. So maybe Dan.
I really like the Battle of Britain. I think Battle of Britain is a really good film.
Yeah, it's fabulous. Yeah,
it's got some great aerial scenes in it. It kind of irks me that the planes are not. They're kind of what do you call it? Historically accurate, but it's still a great film.
It's unbelievably good, I think. Yeah,
it is. Yeah, I think Tora 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 is a great film as well about Pearl Harbor. That's not a British one, but that is a great war film.
Yeah, it's Japanese American, made by Japanese and American directors. I think Kurosawa had something to do with that.
Yeah, it's sort of tells a story from both sides. And I mean, there's a lot of jokey ones which aren't great war films, but they're just good fun. Kelly's Heroes is a good fun film.
Yeah,
it's complete nonsense, but it's still fun to watch.
My favorite.
Yeah, go on, Viv.
My favorite war film is a Belarusian film called Come and See.
You and your obscure films, Viv.
Yeah, I was just thinking. No, don't know that one.
If you've ever seen it, you know what I mean.
Yeah, I haven't seen it.
I can't watch war films now for obvious reasons.
No, of course.
I bet that's got subtitles, isn't it, Viv?
Yeah. Well, yeah. They're subtitled in. I don't know what the language is. It's some kind of Slavic language. I think it's Belarusian. It's made by a Russian director, so it may be Russian. I'm not quite sure, but every war film made since then has tropes from that. Every single war film.
Okay. Okay. Another one I think is really. Oh, sorry, go on.
No, there's a particular scene which every director afterwards has copied. I mean, come and see. It's about a young kid who joins the rebels against the what would they call the Panzergruppen or the those vicious Nazi groups that roamed around Belarus, burning out villages. Einsturzgruppen.
Right. Okay.
But anyway, there's one scene where they're and it follows a young boy really, and he meets this young girl, and suddenly they're caught in this bombing raid, and it's so effective. It basically the sound drops as they've been deafened, so the sound, which was full of bird song, etc., and then the shells come through, you hear them, and then the sound completely drops, and it's like, because their hearing is affected. And it sort of goes into this little really muddy puddle of sound and a high pitched noise. They've got tinnitus, or the explosions have affected their ears. And a lot of films have copied that scene in the sense that explosions and suddenly the sound design, it has a high pitched noise in it. And
yeah, I think Saving Private Ryan was the first one, not the first one to do it, but the first kind of popular film to employ that I'd say. It's the first time I'd seen it in a film anyway, that effect.
Yeah, that comes from Come and See, because that predates Saving Private Ryan. So they obviously watched that.
Yeah, of course, yeah. Another war film I think was which I really enjoyed. I thought it was pretty good. It was a World War One film called The Blue Max.
Yeah,
with George Bedford. I thought that was a very good film.
Yeah, terrific.
Yeah. All Quiet on the Western Front.
Yep. That's another one.
Did you actually watch Dunkirk? You know that film, was it Christopher Nolan? Did you watch that? What did you think of
that? I think he made a bad decision not to use CGI.
Yes, thank you. I agree. It's really lacking, isn't it? That film, it just lacks something.
Looks like they're all queuing up for a ferry trip over to the Isle of Wight or something.
Well, it's very in your, as you have defined the word eerie previously, Viv. That film is very eerie, as in it's lacking. It's very lacking.
Yes,
in certain areas, which is a shame. But yeah.
But if you can read it in a certain way, you can read it in several ways. But I did enjoy it. But yeah, it's not enough people.
No, that's not. Have you seen 1917?
The Russian film?
No, this is a more recent one.
No, I don't think so.
Ah, okay. Oh, okay. That's not too bad. It's once again it's set in the First World War about these two English soldiers who have to get a message through.
Oh, that one. Yeah. No, I haven't seen it. No.
I have. All right. Well, it's actually it's an attempt to be really clever, because it's almost like the whole film is filmed with just two long tracking shots. That's the effect. It actually hasn't been done. They've used a bit of trickery to make it seem like that. But that is the effect. It's almost like the whole film is just two long tracking shots, which makes it quite interesting. And it's not bad. It's all right. All right.
I also like Stanley Kubrick's Paths of Glory.
I haven't seen that.
Yeah, it's got Kirk Douglas. It's Kirk Douglas it follows the French forces on the front.
All right. Okay.
It's got amazing talking of tracking shots, it's got some of the most amazing tracking shots.
Really. Paths of Glory, you say?
Paths of Glory, 1957, if I'm not very much mistaken.
All right, yeah.
Black and white.
Mm.
Come and See will blow you away, though, I promise.
Oh, I'll have to hunt that one down. I'll have to check it out.
You got to read, though. You got to read the subtitles.
Yeah. So that's right. Sometimes subtitles are actually. So sometimes when a film's in English, I put the subtitles on because It does help. This is a bugbear I have with a lot of modern films. Is the sound effects are so loud that you can't hear the dialogue. Really winds me up.
And
really
a lot of recent American films, which I haven't watched films for a while, but I've found that I have to put the subtitles on American films due to the mumbling and the accents. I don't really get the accents, and they're mumbling.
Yeah, mumbling. Yeah, that's a big. Yeah. This seems to be a thing of modern cinema these days, which is really annoying.
You've got to remember to turn your hearing aids up, gentlemen.
Oh.
Yeah, but then the music and the sound effects are super loud. That's what it is. It's just the balance, isn't it?
Yeah.
Really loud music, and when you get explosions, it's like blows your speakers, and you're turning it down. And then when all the explosions stop, you have to turn it up again to hear what they're saying, and you're constantly turning the volume up and down. Really annoying.
I find Kill List quite difficult to follow the dialogue in that as well.
I don't know that one. Kill List. What's that?
It's about two hitmen. It's not a film for 4D. Not a film for 4D.
None of these have been.
No. They're both ex-army, and they've set out on a ex-army career as hitmen. And something really weird happens in that. I tell you.
Okay.
Well,
shall we move on? Shall we move on from war films?
Yeah.
I was going to say, moving on from war films, but let's sort of get it over and done with in the early bit so that we can possibly go up from there. Is this obviously Henry Nowak still in the news, and it's sort of there was a big meeting down in Southampton a couple of days ago, but I know we'd actually spoke about it on the last two shows, so this will be the third week we've spoke about it. But I just wanted to reiterate that because of me and I am a bit of a soppy guy these days with PTSD, but I have been really affected by this. I've had some night rages because of it. I'm not. Yeah, it doesn't do me good when I get caught in my head over this, but forget the fact that I've got PTSD and it's a bit soppy. But I think a lot of people have been stomach churned by the release of the. Sorry, I should have prefixed what I was talking about. Yeah, the police released, or as I've heard, it was actually leaked by a particular police officer. But anyway, leaked the arrest CCTV, body-worn footage from the officers of the arrest of Henry Nowak. And it's so traumatizing for me. So, yeah.
Yeah.
I've watched it, yeah.
I've never, no, that's not, I can't say never. I've seen lots of traumatic things, but it's one of the most traumatic things. I couldn't even watch it all. I watched a bit of it up to the first time that he almost begs for his life. I had my little cry and turned it off. I can't, there's no way I can fucking watch that shit. Sorry for swearing. But yeah, that's just, there's so much to say about that.
People are saying, a few people, particularly Miri. Do you know Miri MF?
No opera.
Yeah, she's saying it's a psyop. Yeah, she's got a.
Yeah, but I know she's always a contrarian, though, isn't she? I know that much about her.
Yeah,
she always tends to come out with nothing is ever as it seems with her. It seems to me.
Yeah. But I have to say, I was read her article and I thought,
in what sense? What does she mean by it's a psyop? I mean, in what way? What exactly is she saying when she says that?
Well, she's saying it's a staged event with crisis actors. Not necessarily crisis actors. I wasn't quite clear what she's saying. She's pointing out anomalies in it, and I don't know. What did get me thinking was it's not so much what she was saying, but I was thinking, well, I suppose in that sense, that that things that are in the BBC and that are in the national press are put there for a reason. Now, I can't imagine what the reason is in this case, whether it's to further divide and rule or what necessarily would be the reason. I don't honestly know why you'd stage such an event. I'm not quite sure why which I do believe is a staged event, was the Northampton police train rampage by the Knife Man. I'm very suspicious about that, and I think there's a lot more evidence to suggest that there's something very odd going on there. Henry Nowak, I don't know. Some people are because I don't know if I believe anything that comes out of the mouth of the state or even the police now. I just don't know. I don't know what to believe anymore. Because
as far as this being in the news, like you said, it's in the news and it's in the news for a reason. Well, first of all, this happened last December. Okay, this is not something which just happened. This has been under wraps since last December, and I've been watching a few. It's been all of the from the GB News talk. The what you might call the controlled opposition or the gatekeepers. They have been all over it, like constantly. They've been all over this. And also there's been some great coverage of it by the Lotus Eaters as well. And I started watching the Lotus Eaters more recently because they are basically full-on Restore supporters, and their analysis is quite deep and quite interesting. And they were saying that that they actually did try to cover this one up, but they couldn't get away with it because there was so many citizen journalists and alternative journalists and independent journalists covering it, and especially on X, it was being spread all over X as well. So essentially, they couldn't get away with just ignoring it. They had to report on it in the end because the cat was out of the bag with it, basically.
Yeah.
With the idea of it being a psyop, like I want to jump in because it's something that tears the sort of conspiracy group to pieces. Excuse me. It's like the word false flag. But in this case, like, number one, I think a gentleman absolutely did die, and I think everything that happened did happen. But the idea of a false flag or the idea of a psyop just means an operation to get you all to do something. I do absolutely 100% think that everything we see on the news is a psyop because we only hear about it because they want us to hear about it. However, then going back to what Bronze said, I don't think it's a psyop in the idea. This is what Alex Jones was arguing with the whole Sandy Hook thing. He wasn't saying that no one died and this didn't happen. It was that it was planned for that particular thing. I don't think this was planned, but I think the psyop is that this happened a long time ago. There was too many eyes on. They couldn't keep it hidden. The psyop is if you want to say it like this, a good guy psyop to let us all know how bad things were. To the point, I think, give it another 6 months or a year, and whatever happened in Surrey, Epsom, will come out, and there will be things about that. I just heard today, I think it is, that 15 Pakistani scumbags have just been put to prison for, I believe it was something like 255 years. And I reiterate again, this was 15 Pakistani scumbags that were put to prison for 4 years, doing what they do to a 12-year-old girl from the age of 12 for 4 years. And this happened a couple of years ago. These people that throw out the word psyop or false flag, don't let them ruin what's going on, or this poor guy. I do believe he lost his life, so let's not protect. I don't think that's what you were saying, but I'm just letting anyone that's listening know that that's not what we're saying. There's a very fine line between what a psyop is and what is thrown at us, and what's real and what's not real.
I think, as you said, Fordy, there's both good and bad psyops. I mean, psyop means psychological operation. It's something designed to make you think a certain way. It's propaganda in a sense. So
and
it's
this has definitely made
like,
us think a certain way. Let's be honest.
yeah, it's like the event happened, okay, and it's not like the good psyop made it happen, but once it
No.
happened, then the good psyop was used for a good psyop, you know.
For instance, have you seen the picture? Again, I didn't think the conversation was going to go this way, and as I say, it is traumatic to me, and I do absolutely, my heart goes absolutely out to everyone involved in this. But did you also see that what will become a famous photo now, I think, of that guy being handcuffed? The manipulation in that photograph, they've made his hand more white to make it look like he was lost all his blood, and that. The claws on the officers look like claws. There's lots of psyops going on within psyops.
Because the officers, his hand is in handcuffs. It's just a picture of his hand in handcuffs, and his hand is very white. And then you have a couple of other hands, which are the hands of the police, wearing those blue gloves, plastic gloves, right?
That's it.
And one of them is so obviously a woman's hand, because you can see through the gloves she's obviously got like her nails have been done, and her hand, the shape of her fingers, it actually looks like a claw. It's really quite ominous, that picture. I mean, I think that picture is going to.
Yeah, but I think it's been manipulated, mate. I don't think that's a real hand.
Quite possibly. Quite possibly.
Yeah. Mary made the point.
Very, very sinister. It looks very sinister, that picture. And,
Mary makes the point that police officers aren't supposed to be wearing false nails because it interferes with their duties.
Exactly. Absolutely. But the fact that they are, they obviously are. This is a point that the Lotus Eaters made. They were talking about this, and they're saying, why this is the state of the British police now. And one of the guys made a great claim. He summed it up. The British police now, they are the paramilitary wing of the Guardian newspaper. That is what they've become. Because this whole, and it's really raised this debate about this whole, what they call this race action plan, which the police, this is the highest priority that the police are told to enact now, is this DEI, diversity, equity, inclusion, so-called anti-racism protocols, which are basically anti-white racism. And there's no two ways about it. The College of Policing have released documentation saying that they must treat different ethnicities in different ways.
You've got to stop doing that next to the mic. It's getting really loud.
Yeah, you're rustling and
okay.
Yeah. And so, I mean, and so there's no doubt about it. There's no doubt about it that indigenous white people in this country now are second-class citizens. We are of less value than non-white people in the eyes of the police. We are, in any situation like this, we are guilty until proven innocent, whereas non-white people are the opposite. They are effectively more value than we are. And the police are now they are institutionally racist against white people, and we had the chief of police of the Hampshire police, the area that who controlled the police where this incident happened. He came out and said, no, there is no two-tier policing. Absolute bald-faced lie. He said, we will not be reviewing our policies towards racial this, that, and the other. That absolutely has to be changed. And Starmer as well came out and said, I don't believe there's two-tier policing. They are just lying. It's just barefaced lying through their teeth.
I don't even think that race is the biggest issue here. In all fairness, to me, the biggest issue here is incompetence. I don't care who was what and who lied and who. Let's take all of that aside, and let's just throw a situation where 3 police officers arrive, one person on the floor, one person stood up. Doesn't matter what was said, doesn't matter what's occurred. You can make up in your mind what a competent bunch of officers would have done in that situation. None of that was done. There is no
I
competence.
think to put it down to incompetence. Yeah, I mean those coppers were incompetent, but I think that's a symptom of the institutional bias which is going on from the higher levels, and to put it down to incompetence is to let them off lightly. It's to let them off lightly.
Yeah. No, I'll give you that, but it's a level of incompetence that, yes, we can blame training and we can blame all the things, but it's a scary level of, again, it's another one of those things like the doctors with the whole COVID time. These are people that we put our trust in with particular situations that they are better than us. And no offense, but I knew better than the doctors and the nurses during COVID. And no offense, but I know better than those 3 police officers. And I hazard a guess that you two feel the same. And that's not the level of. Again, our country is completely and utterly destroyed.
I think the incompetence is it is. I mean, it is, and it is incompetent. But I think that is a symptom of something which has been implemented by design. Above that, it's come from above. It's come from a process which has been deliberately implemented. And the reason these police officers are not the best and the brightest, the reason they've not been trained properly, is because of this system which has been brought in. This common purpose, this whole DEI, all of this nonsense. It's a symptom of that. So I do think, there is incompetence, but that is not the most important. That's not the biggest issue here. That's a symptom of larger issues. For me, anyway. So, yeah,
I love Restore Britain, so I don't need to hide it. But I thought the stuff that he came out and said was absolutely 100% on the nail. There was one that I'd seen that he put out, and it basically said, if we were in power, this guy would be put to death. And I was like, yep, yeah, this will get you into Parliament, I think.
Yeah, bring back the death penalty. He said, and also people like Rudy Cabana, the Southport killer, he'd be dead. He'd be death penalty, bomb. No two ways about it. And this is what needs to be done, because this is this is a deterrent. This is a deterrent.
And I don't know if anyone else has said it, but I think the whole family should be chucked out of England. The mum who hid the knife, the brother who did the phone call, all of them scumbags. The whole family, a scumbag family. They all should be thrown away.
Well, I've always thought where you get a lot of these crimes committed from migrants who have come in from Asia and from the Middle East, and they act very like they're like they have a clan mentality. Okay, it's very much they're not assimilating into the culture of this country. They're keeping themselves apart. They're a law unto themselves. Effectively, they're cover for each other. No matter how bad their crimes against British law is, they'll always try and look after each other and protect each other. And this is a clannish mentality. So, if some person does get convicted, the way to really make them put a deterrent on these people with their mentality is to punish the whole family.
Absolutely,
the whole family. Yeah. Because that means everything to them. Family is so important to them. It's so intrinsic in their culture. If some person brings shame on the family, that is the worst. It's all about saving face, So if some person is convicted of a crime, then the law should then bring measures forward to shame the whole family, and that would be a massive deterrent for these people.
I think this bears talking about. I don't know if you guys have ever met or know any Sikhs in your life, but I've met and know a couple, and they've always been nicest. In fact, as a side note, do you know why Sikhs are allowed to wear the turban?
Yes.
Go on.
There are 5 religious symbols that Sikhs are to wear, including the turban. And the knife, of course, it's a ceremonial dagger, but it's worn for ceremonial purposes. I think Sikh Council of Britain said that it shouldn't be used in this way. And it wasn't a Sikh ceremonial dagger that was used either.
Actually, that's gone the wrong way. No, that's not what I wanted to point out. Was that Sikhs are allowed to wear the turban in this country because Winston Churchill said after the Sikh community helped us during the Second World War, he said that no Sikhs will forever be allowed to wear turbans in the country of England. So it's actually something that we were talking about recently with just at the beginning of this show. Yeah, it was something done by Winston Churchill. And again, if you know anything about the Sikhs, they are a very warrior class of people, and they took on. See, if you want to call it a side, they're against the Muslims. They're very much they're the warrior clans against the Muslims. And there was a case in England about 10 years ago, I think it is now, where a Sikh girl was raped. I believe it was a 14-year-old girl, but I'm probably wrong. My memory's terrible, but 14-year-old girl possibly that was hurt by some Muslims, and about 200 Sikhs came out and they blew up each of the businesses of the people that were involved. They got rid of, they chopped the people up into little pieces. It was a big story. All the Sikhs went to prison for it. But what I meant by that is the Sikh community will not let you, they wouldn't let what's happening to our children be done to their children, and they pretty much let that be known in a northern town in England about 10 years ago. And I want to know if the Sikhs will come together over this and say, hang on, he is not represented by our...
They already have. They already have. But here's the thing as well, what they've done as well, which is what always happens, is they have in some areas turned themselves into the victims. Oh, we don't want everyone to think that all Sikhs are like this. Not all Sikhs are like this. Please don't look at us. You know, it's like, and they're making it about them being the victims, which is what always happens. But let me tell you this about
you do get people like that. But any educated person hasn't looked at this as every Sikh is a bad. That whole family are wrong uns, and I think they're all scumbags. But that doesn't mean all Sikhs are the same.
I mean, with regards to the Sikhs sticking up for their girls, when the rape gangs came after them. What happened after that? They stopped going after the Sikhs, didn't they?
Absolutely, that's what I mean by that. Yeah,
but they still came after the white girls. And you can be sure that there are probably some white guys, white families, white men who tried to stick up, but they weren't backed by the establishment. The Sikhs probably were. I know they went to prison because they broke the law, but that didn't continue after that. Whereas with the white girls, it did.
And I don't want to start this kind of conversation, but no, I'm going to say, and I hate to say this, but no, that they are a very strong, close-knit community, and I don't think it's the fact that the law wasn't on their side. I think it's the fact that they said no, you ain't doing that.
It is because it relates back to this Henry Nowak thing, because they're an ethnic minority and they are treated differently from the white indigenous population by the police. That is the bottom line here. This is the fact of the matter. I mean, maybe they're not quite treated as with as much kid gloves as the Muslims are. But they certainly are given more leeway than the white indigenous people. And with regards to the turbans, I used to have a Sikh girlfriend. I went out with a Sikh girlfriend. And I mean, the thing about turbans is there's no problem with Sikhs wearing turbans. There is one issue I have with it is in this country, it's required by law if you ride a motorcycle to wear a motorcycle helmet. But Sikhs are not are exempt from that because of their turbans. And also Sikh police officers don't have to wear a police helmet. They can wear a turban with a police badge on it. That should not be the case. It should not be the case that they must have to wear motorcycle helmets if they ride a motorcycle, because that's the law for everybody. If they're going to be a copper, they've got to wear the proper uniform just like everybody else. But the whole thing about wearing a turban and growing the hair long, the girl that I went out with, she told me when her parents came over here, whenever it was back in whenever it might have been 50s or 60s, her dad, who was a Sikh with long hair and everything, he cut his hair off so he could get a job. Okay, it meant more to him to get a job and to get on than to keep his religious sensibilities. So
Well,
it wasn't. It was more important to get a job than it was to keep his hair long. He cut off his hair. Religious requirement. He cut his hair off so he could get a job. But it wasn't. It wasn't the be all and end all.
Well, again, not all religious people stick 100% to their religious belief, but also, I'd say, again, it was a different time where no matter what, they wanted to integrate into English life. So I'm glad he decided to go that route. It's the problem is today there's a zero movement on it, and even so if we look at the fact that it's so Winston Churchill said they would always be allowed to wear it in this country, so that rule can't be superseded, but you still have to have it comes back to that common sense. It's like, yeah, okay, we're not saying so, yeah, for life you are allowed to wear that turban, but in this country we have certain situations, like if you're riding a motorbike you need to wear a crash helmet, so that now supersedes that. We're not taking away your religious again, and if your religion is so strong that you don't want to do that, then please go to another place. We're not saying that or all I'm saying is you've got to use common sense in a lot of these things. It shouldn't be just flat, this is the way it is.
Well, yeah, I mean, the law is the law. The law should apply equally to everyone, and this is what this whole Henry Nowak thing is really throwing up now. This question is like, why does the law not apply to everyone the same? Two-tier policing. It's so. I mean, it's interesting. This is a kind of a I suppose the silver lining of this very, very dark cloud is that these things are now being spoken about and brought up. The police went way overboard, going one way about racism after the Macpherson report, and then George Floyd and all that nonsense, which had nothing to do with this country. And they went way off the edge on one side. Now that's starting to come back and blow up in their face because it's just nonsense. And so maybe now things are going to be brought back to a more sensible position because of this.
The similarities between George Floyd and this are scarily, just scary.
Well, I mean, yeah.
When you talk about psyops and all this, that, and the other, it's very.
But there is very little. There is very little comparison. Henry Nowak and George Floyd were a million miles apart in terms of character. There's no doubt about that.
Oh, well, that's the clever thing. There are a million. Every aspect of the story is the opposite, but that's what makes them so chillingly the same. One guy was a black guy who was a scumbag. One guy was a white guy that was a really nice guy. One was in America, one was here, but still, the chilling, I can't breathe. One of them, he had a drug overdose because he'd stuffed loads of drugs down his throat. The other one, because I don't even want to say it because it makes me chill. But it's just very frightening, and it's frightening how it makes us be able to point out the facts. Like, I think Keir Starmer down on one knee for a guy in America, but not for a guy here. Shabana Mahmood, who wrote this big long X thing saying they should riot and they should be allowed to riot. This killing is disgusting, about the George Floyd thing, but nothing about this one. It lets the general public that aren't as conspiratorial as us three get an idea of what the truth of this world is.
Yeah. Anyway, I don't think we should maybe kind of spend the whole conversation talking about this one again. Maybe we should try and
I didn't mean to do that actually. Yeah,
let's move on and maybe move on to something else. But yeah, it's a very, very distressing situation. It certainly has. It's a Pandora's box, It's the genie is out of the bottle, I think, and it's definitely the repercussions are going to be quite deep and far-reaching from this, and not necessarily all in a bad way either. There might be some good to come out of it.
I've been stabbed. I don't think you have, mate.
Yeah, that line. I know.
That should be right. Anyone now who has any interaction with a British police officer, that's all they should say. No, I don't think you have. I don't think you have, mate. I don't think you
there
are,
was
mate.
another great meme for the gathering that happened in Southampton. There was a picture of all the gather party people, and it just basically said rioting in Southampton. I don't think so, mate. And I just thought, yeah, see, this is how it's going to get used against you for a long time now. And also this idea that a police officer can call you mate. Where's the professionalism? No. It's not fucking mate. It's sir. You fucking
that's what I thought.
piece of shit.
The public.
Anyway.
I know, no, exactly. I thought that as well. I thought, what's going? Well, where have the standards gone? It's just don't call us mate, call us sir or madam. But also, I mean, I'm sorry, that the protest outside Southampton police station, when you had a whole load of white, essentially almost entirely white crowd shouting at the police, "Racist police off our streets." It's white people shouting that at the police now. It's like, well, this is crazy. Upside down world now.
Yeah.
Racist police off our streets. Racist police off our streets. It's like
another moment from it that might. I wouldn't be surprised if it gets picked up soon, because like I always do, I was watching it live. And at one point, a black guy. There's been a bit of scuffle on the front line. The police have all lined up. The party goers are all lined up, and they kind of move back, and then the police rush them. And this black guy runs to the front of the crowd and says, "Stand behind me, guys. They won't attack me." And I just thought, fucking love this. This is, even this black guy is in with this bunch of white guys against the police and acknowledging the two-tieredness and saying, "Stand behind me, guys. They won't attack me." And I just thought that needs to go out on the news. Everyone needs to see that. That's brilliant.
Yeah, and it does seem once again that I mean, they were protesting there for hours, completely peacefully outside the police station. Then the police decide to turn up with shields and helmets and provoke them. And there was some violence, but it was provoked by the police once again. And then that gives the mainstream media there exactly what they want. Here we go, violence from white thugs against the police.
It started before that. They were trying to push him down the stairs when just after Tommy Robinson gave his speech, just after Lawrence Fox gave his speech, and all the big guys that came down did their speech. Ten Coney was there as well. He did a speech. In fact, again, I said to you that there might be a time when they were all up there, and I just thought this looks great. But anyway, I'm getting sidetracked. They sort of finished their speeches, and then the police just, you can see it in the live feed, they just deliberately start pushing people down the stairs, which is going to cause problems. So the crowd rise up, and that, but anyway, as you said, it was always the police that started it, not the crowd.
Yeah.
But after you saying we weren't going to talk about it, we carried on talking about it.
So let's move on. Viv, have you got anything on your mind you want to bring up, you want to talk about?
Have I got anything on my mind? Well, I mean, the news has been dominated by this, especially the mainstream news. I wonder what it's pushing out of the view of the public. Not entirely sure what that might be, but I dare say this has been a very good time to bury bad news.
That's a good.
So, I'm not entirely sure what's been buried.
There's been some, well, I mean, the whole Makerfield by-election thing is still rumbling away. Not much more has been mentioned on that. I guess that will start to re-enter the news cycle closer to the day of the election. It will come. I mean, what else? I mean, the Iran thing is still going on. The war in Iran. Don't really know what's happening with that. Trump seems to be just slow playing it. There's been some interesting primary elections in the US as well. And this guy Spencer Pratt, have you heard? He's running for the mayor in California. He's trying to push out Karen Bass.
I've heard of him.
He was a reality TV star. Apparently, that's how he rose to prominence. Then he decided to run for mayor, and that's turning into quite an interesting race because he's really killing it as well. he's doing some really good job. He's doing a really good job by the looks of it.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, what else? Oh, I don't know.
Maybe you should ask Viv what he's been reading.
Ha!
Okay. Yeah.
Oh, God. I've just ordered 2 other bookcases. That's what I've done. Huh.
Time for Viv's bookshelf. So yeah, what have you been reading, Viv? Seems we haven't covered it for the last few weeks. So
I'm just reading more strange tales, single short stories. I'm reading a woman called Elizabeth Jane Howard at the moment. I've just finished another bunch of short stories, and I've ordered a number of books, really, which I shouldn't have done. But Frank Wright shared his bookshelf, and I thought, oh, okay.
Yeah, Frank Wright. He's been doing the rounds. Actually, he was on Lotus Eaters earlier today as well.
Yeah. Well, it's all after that interview with Wilsey.
That's right. Yeah,
yes.
that was even Tucker Carlson did a little section on that, talking about Frank Wright as well. So he's really made some waves. He really has. He's touched a lot. He's activated quite a lot of people.
But his books he chose were very interesting indeed. So I did order a few of them. They're not that expensive. So yeah, I've just got Joseph Lemaistre's book. Well, his first books. Lemaistre was a reactionary. He's one of the first reactionaries, in a sense, of the modern world. He lived in the French Revolution, and he was totally against it. He was pro-monarchy, and he had to leave France, of course.
I think he was Lemaistre. I think that's the guy, because I was just watching Frank Wright on Lotus Eaters earlier, as I just mentioned, and they had some of the viewers actually put some questions to him, and one of them was because he said he used to be a Labour supporter originally. Yeah. And they said, sort of bearing that in mind, and he's now a big Restore Britain supporter. And obviously Rupert Lowe has come out and said, yep, we're going to, we want to bring back the death penalty. And somebody asked him, what are your views on the death penalty? And he mentioned, and I think he mentioned that guy you just mentioned as well. And he said, well, and he said, yeah, he's, if you read this guy, and that will probably answer your question. And he was in favour of it. And he said he actually makes a very good case for the death penalty.
Yeah, Lemaistre. Lemaistre was pro-death penalty, which is a bit ironic because so were his opponents. They were big, for it in a very big way. The Republican side.
The revolutionaries. Yeah, of course.
The revolutionaries. Yeah. We know all about that. But so yeah, I got Joseph Lemaistre and a few others that he recommended, which I thought, I'll give that a read. Have a look at that.
Oh, okay. Have you erected any of your bookshelves yet? Any of your newly bought books?
They're arriving tomorrow. 2 of them. Yeah.
Oh, right. Okay. Oh, you haven't actually received any yet.
No, I've ordered them, but they're arriving tomorrow. That'll be all right. I'll do that over the weekend. I don't have much time nowadays. I don't know. Maybe I need to organise my time better, but I've not been able to do much writing recently, and which is a bit sad, but there you go.
Very quickly on the death sentence, and before I say it, I want to say that I am in favour of the death sentence. However, it's an interesting concept talking about the death sentence from a Christian country, and I just wanted to very quickly not go into any depth, but how do you have a death sentence in a if we want to go back to being a proper Christian country? You can't really, killing someone is against God's. It's one of the 10 commandments. So I don't know how does that fit in with a Christian country?
I think there are people who would defend it from a Christian viewpoint.
So Joseph killed someone?
Joseph Lemaistre defends the death penalty, and he was a staunch Catholic. So, yeah,
Well,
I mean, I don't know. To me, giving the state the life and death on over someone is a little bit troubling, really.
Dangerous. Yeah, true. Yeah, as well. Yeah.
Yeah, because, well, we've seen what happens when the state runs amok, as it's doing now. So giving them the opportunity to kill people without recourse.
Well, the whole idea is, obviously, when we talk about the state, we have this preconceived idea of what we have now and what we have had. And the whole point, in my mind at least, of Restore Britain is to do away with that, is have a clean sheet, have a reset, and put in place something which is trustworthy, something that is respectable, something that is transparent. Not what we've got now. So obviously, I mean, putting the death penalty in the hands of the criminals we have now, very, very, that's not a good idea.
No, and it comes back to the use of a jury. Again, the fundamentals of our law system are quite sound. It's just that all the bullshit that was put in between it that messed it up. But, if you have a jury of your 12 peers that have nothing to do with the case, sit there, listen to the case, and, and if they all agree that you're guilty, then that's the way the cookie crumbles, sort of thing.
Yeah, I mean, as mentioned before, we've got to be able to trust that those jurors have their principles in the right order when giving their opinion on these things. I.e., the whole clan mentality doesn't start creeping in and playing a part. It's got to be the law and justice, British law, above everything else. They've got to be true to that.
What Viv says is the worst part of it. Is it's too scary to give the state. To me, it's too scary to give the state power like that, because it can be, as we've seen, it just gets abused wholeheartedly. Yeah,
I know. But I mean, I suppose you can look to. I mean, the USA. Not all of the states, but some of them have the death penalty. And the USA is still very strongly a Christian country. And a lot of those inmates on death row, they're on death row for years.
Yeah, I don't agree with that either.
Years.
Yeah.
I know. I don't quite understand the mechanics of all that, but
I'd even say that's torture, and I don't agree with torture at 100%, obviously. I really don't agree with that. It's that's their system fucking around with it, really, if you ask me. Because again, if I commit you to death today, then by tomorrow your light should have been extinguished. End of story. I don't think you can be there for years. Wait, what are you waiting for? Just we haven't got the electricity. Cut it off with a sword. I don't care. It's been done. He's been done.
Yeah. I mean, that makes sense. But obviously, the conviction of death has to be really, so absolute in terms of being sure that person is guilty. And there must be absolutely not even a sliver of doubt that person is guilty of the crime that they are being, judged for. If the penalty is death, then it must be a cast iron case. Absolutely.
If and when we do have that conversation, I think it will be a very deep, because I would even say that there's maybe only two crimes that could lead to death. Child abuse and murder. Pretty much everything else, I don't care what you've done, because the sentence of death is. I think you just used the words. It's final. It's the end. It's like that's pretty bad, pretty big.
Yeah. But I'm running through my mind dozens of examples of people sentenced to death who didn't do the crime.
Like whom?
Yeah, I know, I get you, but I suppose you have to look at it, and this is the cold, and I'm not cold-hearted, but in the cold-hearted way, you hope that it happens once in a blue moon compared to the thousands of times that you've got rid of a bad guy. But I totally hear what you're saying. I'm with you on it. Yeah.
I mean, just recently. Go on, Viv, sorry.
I was thinking of cases like Chris Craig and Bentley, John Reginald Christie. These are from the 50s, so I agree. And perhaps Ruth Ellis, although she did certainly shoot the person she shot.
John Christie, he's the guy famous for 10 Rillington Place, isn't he?
Correct. Yes.
And he did murder. He did murder several people, did he not?
That's right. He did. Yes, correct.
And he was sentenced to death, was he?
I think he was. Yeah, but it's not Christie that I'm really talking about. It was the person he blamed, who was executed. Yeah.
Oh, really? I didn't realise that. that. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, there is some. I mean, what about people like? I mean, Ruth Ellis was famously the last. Wasn't she the last person to be to receive the death penalty in this country?
Last woman.
What about Myra Hindley? Would she have been?
Ooh. I mean, yeah, I don't know about that.
You could even move it forward to more recent and say, what would have happened to Lucy Letby? And now we know that there's more to that story, and we could have extinguished her on the advice of the government that it was definitely her.
Well, there is a case. There is a good case for delaying it. If you can come to the judgment, death, but maybe that's the case for actually not doing it straight away, just in case more evidence comes to light. I mean, and that still hasn't been resolved yet. It's still very, isn't it?
Yeah, but you'd like to think that's the point of court, that you've already got all of the points to light. You don't wait. Well, I know what you're saying, but
yeah. I mean, sometimes justice is served anyway. I suppose you might say that. I mean, in two recent cases, we've had the guy Watkins, the singer of that band Lost Prophets, who got jailed for paedophilia, and he ended up getting killed in jail by another inmate. We've had that other guy, what's it got? Ian Huntley. Remember him?
Yeah.
Killed those two girls. He got lost his life in jail as well fairly recently. I mean, he served a good few years, but it came to him in the end. Another inmate got to him and done him. I'm not saying that's the way to go, but sometimes it does work out,
Yeah, I know. But all it takes is someone as clever as Christie and devious for him to blame the murder on a man called Timothy Evans, who was hanged.
Right. Yeah.
And was not.
I believe
was not guilty.
I believe he was hung, not hanged.
Hanged is correct.
Is it really? Oh, fuck me.
Yeah, hanged.
Yeah. If you're hung, it means you're particularly well endowed. If you're hanged, but hanged in that tense, for hanging by the neck until dead. Hanged is the correct.
Oh, I'm glad I butted in. I didn't know that. Thanks. Right.
Yeah. It's correct. It's not used as much now, but hanged is correct. Yeah.
Mm.
I think because we have the word hung, it just sounds completely wrong to me. That's mad. Yeah.
Well, it does sound odd. I mean, you have the expression hung, drawn, and quartered. There's a pub down by Tower Bridge called Hung, Drawn, and Quartered.
Oh yeah.
Where it's actually that's incorrect. It should be hanged, drawn, and quartered.
Yeah.
Wow.
And also,
there you go.
And also, it's gone out a bit now, but you don't light a cigarette. No, you say he lighted a cigarette, not he lit a cigarette. He lighted a cigarette. But again, language changes. Lighted.
You're saying lighted is correct. You're saying lighted is correct.
It should be, but it isn't anymore. It's lit now. It's changed to lit. But it
lighted sounds wrong.
It's a bit archaic. It's a bit archaic that he lighted a cigarette.
Yeah.
Wow.
He lighted a lamp.
Yeah, that's very old.
It is. But hanged people
what about
still.
He lit the light. No.
Um. Oh, you got me there. I don't know. I mean, they're called lamplighters, or they were. But language changes, Of course.
Mm-hmm.
So,
well, hey, listen, we've been morbid for most of it, and I wanted to bring this up last week, and we didn't get time to do it, so I'm going to quickly do it now. We'd had the second UFO files released, and there was some much more juicy things, and I think actually it's taken me 2 weeks to talk about it, and I think we're due another lot in a couple of weeks' time.
I'll just pop into the kitchen. I'll just pop into the kitchen to make a cigarette. I won't be long.
No, you don't have to go that far away, mate.
yeah.
Your microphone. I didn't realize his microphone was that sensitive.
Yeah. I just got to go to Plymouth to light a cigarette.
Need to get my cigarette lighted in Plymouth.
Yeah. Excuse me.
Yeah. So anyway,
did you see any of the next files that were released? They were a lot more juicy.
I've really kind of just been not paying attention to that at all, to be honest with you. I find it really difficult to get excited about it. I know it is different. I know this is this is coming from an official source, and there is reason to but I don't know. It's not really touching me in that way,
Is it because it's too crazy for you?
No. It's because it's not crazy enough. It's almost like it's going to be. I mean, we've all seen the footage and the lights and we've all seen the UFO stuff. We've seen tons of the videos, and we've heard all of the stories. And this, the only thing different about this is it's coming from an official source. So it's going to be like kind of more of what I've already seen and what I've already heard. The only difference is it's coming from an official source. So that's kind of why I'm not really that interested. It's like I've seen it all before. It's great that it's coming from the government, but it's like, okay, well, I'm not going to be that. I'm not, it's not going to do anything for me, until I actually see a UFO land outside my house or something, or whatever. You see one landing on the White House lawn and then shaking hands with Trump. I don't know, whatever. It's just something different, something new.
Don't you get? Well, I suppose that's why I'm almost sat here wanting to throttle you and go, well, do you not see that if it's coming from an official source that clearly that's where we're headed, is where someone's going to shake hands with one of them and they're going to land in your back garden, sort of thing.
Yeah. Well, if that's where we're headed, I'll be interested when we get there, because we've been headed.
Right.
It's like, let's get there, and then I'll be interested. Then I'll be like, wow, okay, great. But at the moment, it's like, yeah, all right, well, keep going.
Yeah, no, I feel it. I think if we don't get excited, how can we get the normies in on this? But I've got to say, I think this is not like the answer of the universe 42 or anything like that, but it's kind of the answer of it will dot all the I's, it will cross all the T's. There'll be so much answered by that one conundrum.
Yeah, I mean, it probably would answer a lot of questions, but I also get the feeling it would throw up just as many new questions. I mean, did you see? Apparently, Jesse Waters, the Fox, the guy on Fox, he hosts a show on Fox. He was talking about it, and he was apparently saying there's 4 different types of aliens. That's what he was saying. There's 4 types of aliens. We have the lizards, the insectoids, the I think it is the Greys and the Nordics. I think that's the 4.
That's correct.
And he was just openly saying it. Oh, we have 4 types of aliens, and this is what they are. And it's
and that's the kind of thing. I mean, I've heard of this, that there's 4 types down here, and I've heard of that for what, I don't know, 10, 15, 20 years. So, but like you say, for him to just blurt it out like that is very, very strange.
See him.
Anyway.
see them. I want to see them. I want to see them. Show them to me. Let's have a look. Then I'll get interested. You know, somebody just telling me stuff again is like, yeah, okay. So this is just another guy telling me stuff. I want a bit more this time. I want a bit more beef this time. You know.
Yeah.
And also, I mean, here's another thing. Somebody was talking about this, and they were kind of speculating on all of this, the possibilities of what all this could be. You know, are they aliens? Have they travelled across space, or are they interdimensional, or maybe they've been here all the time? Maybe they've been here all the time, and that we are the aliens.
I was just going to say, I think that's where a lot of
maybe,
that's where a lot of people end up. They say that it's more time travel or multi-dimensional, and that humans are actually the only beings in the universe, but we are in different forms, sort of thing. And yet all the aliens, spirits, ghosts and vampires that we see or hear of are actually time traveling, multi-dimensional humans that are in the future. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we know stories about the Nephilim, about the giants breeding and then creating a new race. Maybe they are the original inhabitants of this planet, and we are the result of their experiment. So we are not the original inhabitants of this planet. Maybe they are. Maybe we're the interlopers. Maybe we're the newcomers. You know?
Yeah, and the third option is that we are not important at all, that another race brought us down to this planet, or brought some DNA of their DNA down to this planet, mixed it with monkeys or birds, whatever, something on this planet, and it made us. And we're not actually that. We're just an experiment that went right.
Well, maybe, yeah. I mean, maybe we're just a genetic experiment. Whether it went right or wrong, who knows? But yeah,
well,
I mean,
in as much as we had life, you know, whichever creature, whichever race of beings created us, we went right in as much as they went, yep, look, we've created life. Let's leave them on this planet and see what happens like we would do if we made an ant's nest. We make, you know, get all the bits, get the queen ant, we put it in there and we go, oh, I wonder what that'll look like in a month's time. You know, maybe that's all it is. And that would be, maybe it's too devastating for us to find out that we're just ants in a jar. I don't know.
Yeah.
Exactly. But I'm still very interested at where this is going. This is the second crop of files.
I mean, don't just because I'm not getting excited, don't get the impression that I'm not interested. I'm absolutely interested, but I'm just like, okay, well, let's give me something more than just words and pictures that I've seen before.
I'm interested enough, but my personal viewpoint is that life is absolutely weird and crazy and strange enough. Actual life that we experience as we experience it every day.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so I don't know. I've personally seen things I cannot explain, strange things, and it's everyday life on the streets, in restaurants.
That's really not a nice way to talk about your work colleagues, Viv. I mean, I know it's.
Think of the people I talk with. I mean, I can think recently of weird things. The glitching woman we stared at. She was totally glitched. Incredible.
Which woman was that?
So we usually go for Sunday lunch. You've been with us. And we were in that place that we went to last time you visited, and on a table nearby, Gabby, who you met, she said, "Look, oh my God, look, help this woman! I've got to help this woman." And the woman was glitched; she was frozen. She was totally frozen. She was holding her phone, but she wasn't watching it. She was immobile. She was staring. She wasn't blinking.
Like a Mitch McConnell, you know, that happened to Mitch McConnell, didn't it?
Yeah, it did.
Do you know what? We'll have to dedicate a time to talk about it, because there's a lot of people that are saying this, that they play a signal through your phone and you lose, you go into this trance, and you know, and they can mess around with your head in that moment, and then they can take you out of the trance and you're back to normal, and you don't know. They were saying about the whole Mandela effect, and that's where that can be explained. And it's actually all just they send a signal to your phone, get you into a trance, get you to do something, and you never know you even had an interaction with them.
No, that's right. I mean, this woman just we watched her, and it was quite a while. It was quite a few minutes, and Gabby was going to go over to her, and suddenly she snapped out of it and just continued as normal. Went back to looking at her phone. Went back to eating her salad. Absolutely, don't know. Maybe she's thinking deeply. I don't know, but there was no movement.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Life is strange enough for me, gentlemen.
Gore blimey, Governor. I chose Paul O'Grady, and I don't think we've actually spoke about Paul O'Grady. So do you know what? I'm going to give a very quick sign. Yeah, I don't. I think we kind of briefly did speak about him, but all I was, I think we kind of dragged it on, and I don't know what we did say about him, what we didn't say about him. But Paul O'Grady, born in 1955, died in 2023, and he was an English drag queen, comedian, broadcaster, if you will. Married 3 times, married twice to women, and then to a man in his latter part of his years. And I think both of the marriages to women were of convenience, shall we say, to a certain extent. Liked his drink, a very colourful working class background. And as I said, I think I personally knew him more as his counterpart. What was her name? Lily Savage.
Yeah.
Did he have any kids?
He did.
Right. So his marriages weren't entirely of convenience. His marriages to women, I guess.
Well, certainly from my point of view, having lost a child, like he had his girl. I think it was a girl he had, and a daughter. Sorry, and it was on having the daughter that he says that's when he realised he was gay and he was living a lie, and walked away from the child and didn't want anything to do with her. I think he changed his mind later on, but at first it was that's what happened with that marriage. He walked away, gave up with women, said he came out as gay, and then the second wedding marriage was someone who was from overseas, needed a passport or something like that, and he just married them out of convenience to make their life easier. Once the job was done, that one was over.
So that's pretty cold though, just to walk away from your daughter, even if you are gay.
Very cold, yeah, very cold. I think, and luckily, it looks like he did reconnect with her, but yeah, very cold.
I think I would say
a dark background, basically.
What?
He basically had a dark background, as in he had a bit of a rough time and did some rough things. And I think he spent the latter. Hopefully, again, it's only what you read in that, but I think it was in his latter part that he took ownership for what he did wrong and tried to make amends for it. Did all the giving money to dogs charities. Well, he could have chose a human charity, to be fair, but yeah, he realised later on that he was wrong in the things he did.
I believe he did pay for her upkeep.
Oh, thank you. Right. So it wasn't a full walk away then.
No.
To say, you see these people on TV and you get your 5 minutes of entertainment from them, but they've all got just as deeper stories as all three of us will have.
Yeah. Well, this is the thing, when you, especially working in a job like I do, you realise that people are all different, and you don't really know people. You may think you know them, but you don't. There's a whole reservoir there with people, and when you talk to people, especially as I do, who are in very, very extreme circumstances, you realise, my goodness, what a strange life this is.
Yeah.
A woman wakes up with her and her husband's lying dead in bed in Benidorm. And they're on holiday, and what the hell? That sort of thing.
Yeah.
I talked to loads of people who have been given a terminal diagnosis. And they're surprisingly cheery. This is very odd. Don't quite know why.
Because the long struggle is over.
Well, that's something, isn't it? Yeah.
Here's a thing which I've kind of been thinking about. And it's, I mean, we all, the assumption is that death is somehow a bad thing. And maybe not everybody sees death as a bad thing. You know, it is. We are culturally programmed to think of to be afraid of death, to fear death, to not want to die, to see it as an ending, and all of these bad things. There's no positive connotations to death in our culture, or in most cultures, I should imagine. But maybe it's not like that. Maybe not everybody sees it like that.
Not everyone does. I'm glad you've said that, because I'm not scared of death. I've often said to me, it's a very queer thing to be, peculiar thing to be scared of. I'm scared of the process, but I'm not scared of death itself. It could be horrific. I could be in pain. It could be, but that's a process. I'm not scared of death. I'm actually, I don't want this to come across the wrong way, but I'm ready for. I've been ready for it for a long time.
Well, I actually believe that the fear of death is the ultimate, is the fear which all other fears come from.
It's the unknown, isn't it? It's like putting your hand into a dark, or walking into a dark room. It's the unknown.
Yeah, if you don't fear death, then you don't fear anything, because your fear of anything, it all stems from the fear of death, I believe. And
that's, that's a great line, because that's what I say about heroes, or your sort of Robin Hood scenarios. It's when a man has lost, when a man has no fear of death. To me, that is one of the scariest people, because they no longer have a healthy look at life, and that's a scary place to be. That's when you get the brave hearts and the people that do remarkable things.
Yeah, I mean, I have brought up this before, but it's exactly what you're saying. There was the Band of Brothers, the World War II thing, based on real soldiers who served. One of them was a guy called Ronald Spears, who was lieutenant. I think he eventually became captain. And he had a reputation as being completely fearless and a real badass. And apparently he had all these rumors about him killing German POWs and even shooting one of his own soldiers one time. And everyone was really a bit scared of him. They all respected him, but he was completely fearless. And one time, one of the soldiers, he was having a conversation with him. And he says, "Sir, how do you do it? How do you do it?" And Spears just said, "All you got to do is just accept that you're dead already. Once you can accept that, then you're free."
That's the kind of things they taught us in the army, and I think it is sad, but that's why I've been ready for it for a long time. You get taught that kind of, to look at it, that from the moment you were born, you were designed to die. It's a really morbid, but it does make it easier. I will say that.
Well, there you go. You see, you're framing it as something morbid. Maybe it's not. Maybe death is actually something good. We don't know. Because, like you say, it's the unknown. We just don't know. It's maybe that death is the beginning of something much better than this.
Well, I just think, as I said earlier, we're passing through here.
Yeah. I mean, this is I believe that our true beings are much more developed than this existence. This is a very low vibrational existence we have, and this is not our natural state. We are kind of being trapped here. Whatever you like to call our soul or our conscious or our spirit or whatever it is, it's that spark inside us which does not belong on this plane. It belongs in a much higher level, but it's been kind of captured and put into this very low vibrational body and this state, and we're kind of we're sort of prisoners here in a way. And when we die, we're released again, I think, back to our natural state. And for whatever comes after that.
Yeah, I've read quite a lot into this. I started reading a book called Denial of Death by Ernest Becker, and it's led to an entire, essentially, it's called terror management theory. And Becker believed and argued, in fact, not believed, but he argued that the all-encompassing fear of human mortality is the main driving force behind human behavior.
Yeah.
And that humans develop so-called immortality projects designed to repress the dread and to get a kind of transcendence, symbolic. So people create these things that he called hero systems, like religions, empires, art, capitalism, ideologies, and it's designed to make people feel they're part of something everlasting or significant.
Yeah, and apparently without that, it's a disastrous scenario without that.
We're constantly striving. We're constantly striving to put meaning into life, to find meaning in life. That is, we're always looking for meaning in life. What does our life mean? What does life mean? What does anything mean? That's a constant. We're always striving for that.
Yeah.
So yeah, that fits in perfectly with that. And also, I mean, for you describe yourself as an atheist, and it's like I'm not sure that you really are an atheist, to be honest with you, because and this is one of the reasons which I can never get with atheism is because atheists basically believe that you have this one life, this is it, and once you're dead, that's it, that's the end of everything, forever and ever and ever and ever, for eternity, and that I just doesn't fucking fit for me. That does not work.
Yeah, it does for me.
So I do. There's got to be something. There's got to be something more after this. There has to be. There just has
we'll have
to
to delve into this another time because it's a great deep conversation. But yeah, I think your immortality is in your DNA, and it just gets passed on as memories and looks and that actually. But anyway, I'd say that could be another 2-hour conversation. Actually,
right. Yeah, that's another deep conversation waiting to happen, isn't it? All right.
Well,
have we got anything more to say about what's his face, Paul O'Grady, or are we going to move on next week?
I think we should move on. We kind of we might as well move on. I think
All right, so Viv, ball's in your court for that one.
Right. Sorry, I was muted. Yeah. Okay, I'll think of that. I'll think about that. There's loads. There's loads of them, really.
Yeah, surprise us with something.
Yeah, I'll think about that. But O'Grady did become a national treasure when he ditched the Lily Savage persona, and he was kind of more old school drag queen than the ones you got now, which are a bit different, really. It's so he ditched this, strangely enough, at the point where it was becoming fashionable.
True. Yeah.
And then he got into the dog stuff, and then he ditched the wig and all that. And so, yeah, he became a pretty well-known TV personality.
He became a chat show, didn't he? Really?
So, well, he did. Yeah, but he presented films about Battersea Dogs Home and etc. And he had these dogs and all that. So, yeah, it was a career change, and it did bring him a great deal of success, which he didn't quite achieve with Lady Savage, although the Savage character was popular enough, but for some reason he got rid of Lily and took off the wig, put on a suit. Yeah.
Yeah, I think Lily was a bit of a mix-up with the whole sexuality thing. He was going through things, didn't understand them too well. And I only say that because of what you said. He sort of did that for a while and then ditched it all and moved on with his life. And you'd say he seemed happier in the role as a gay man on a chat show.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, yeah.
Yep, take us out of the darkness with a couple of jokes, and we'll and we'll move.
Funnily, I mean, the whole LGB thing. I've asked so many people what LGBTQIA stands for, and I just cannot get a straight answer.
Oh, well, I didn't know you were. I didn't know you were already telling jokes.
That's very good.
Yeah.
Thank you. All right.
Was that intentional? That's good.
Anyway, why did the chicken cross the road?
It's the other side.
Oh, to get to an idiot's house. Knock, knock.
Who's there?
The chicken.
Yeah, I knew that was coming.
I found £20 in the street and thought to myself, what would Jesus do? So I turned it into wine.
Aha. Very good.
Okay. Oh, obviously not very good.
No, I do get it. I do get that.
I don't doubt that you get it, Viv. It's whether you find it funny or not. Which is usually exampled by some kind of laugh or something along those lines.
All right.
My boss said to me today, "You're the worst train driver ever. How many trains have you derailed so far?" I said, "It's hard to keep track." I'd like to thank the dictionary for teaching me the meaning of the word plethora. It means a lot. Why do women prefer rocks to minerals? Because typically mineral the same. I have just finished reading a book about the world's greatest basement. It was a bestseller. A friend of mine changed his name to Bjorn today. He wasn't Bjorn yesterday. Wait, did you know that I was breastfed until 3? But enough about my day. How was yours? And okay, here we go. This is probably a one I should end on. Sometimes when I'm home alone and laying in bed, I like to procrastinate. Actually, the more I think about it, that's not the word I'm looking for.
Right. Okay.
So I will get my coat.
Yep.
There you go. That's your lot.
Thank you very much.
That takes me out of the darkness that we put ourselves in before. So yeah,
I'm
cheers.
glad to hear it. I'm glad it was touch and go there for a while, but
All right, guys, take it easy, and I'll speak to you next week then.
Yep. All right.
All right, then. All right, mates. All right.
See you later.
The studio. Bronze is gone.
He seemed to just go straight off. Yeah. I mean, you're talking about that sort of strange. I'm going to bring it back to reality strange, but having been married and had a child, just watching a woman, I'm going to get really soppy about this now, but watching a human being with a human being inside them growing, kicking, punching, still to this day, one of the most amazing things. I've seen it twice. I saw it with my own wife and I saw it with a friend, and both times I've been absolutely humbled by it. What are you doing next to the speaker now? It sounds like you're mixing a cake mixture or something.
I don't understand it. Maybe it's malfunctioning, and I suppose it must be. I don't know. It's very, very sensitive. I'm doing nothing different to what I normally do. Well, I'll remain more silent then.
Absolutely. How dare you speak?
Yes, you'll speak when you're spoken to, young man.
Yeah, I know. Yes. Yeah. I'll just pop into the kitchen to make a cigarette. I won't be long.
No
You don't have to go that far away, mate.
Yeah.
I didn't realise his microphone was that sensitive.
Yeah. I just got to go to Plymouth to light a cigarette.
Need to get my cigarette lighted in Plymouth.